back. I've got fresh coffee going on here, and the Z-axis is where it was left, and now I feel I've got a bit of a confession to make, because I didn't realise how big this printer was going to be. Not that the other printer isn't the same size, the actual frame is a wee bit smaller, but it still prints the same size. So I'm actually running out of room and suitable focus for the camera. So I'm going to try and put this together as best I can, and obviously I can show you this. It's not a problem, but it's just yeah, I'm now running out of space on my desk, and I don't really want to be building it on the floor, because the camera view you've got at the top down is essentially the whole size of the table. So when I bring that up to there, yeah, we've got stuff like that going on. So I think I'm going to have to turn this up, sit it on its side a little bit, and also I need to clear room because, well, look, right, that's the base. And that's the Z-axis. It's absolutely massive. I'm also a little bit concerned about the fact that, from what I'm seeing right now, it's not really lining up. So we'll have to have a wee look at that. I think the way that I'm going to have to build this now is look at stand it on its side and building it that way, because it's saying it needs some T-nuts and a few other bits and bobs. So let me just get my glasses on. Right, so how am I going to do it? It's ridiculously sized printer. So I have, in this bag, I have two M5 by 20 mil, I think this is, and it's looking for 4 M5 by 20. Well, there's your 4 there. Okay, let me just double check. Yeah, 20 mil, right, good. Okay, so first things first, I think if I turn these both on their side, I can line something up. Now you're beginning to see what I was talking about when I said for some reason these aren't looking like they're too straight. I suspect the Z-axis rods are maybe not the X-axis rods are maybe not in as far as they could be. but hopefully I can make an adjustment. Either that, I'm taking that whole thing off again, which would be annoying to say the least. And yeah, so I have to put the bolt through there. It's recessed, and make it line up with the pre-drilled part that we already had. I don't want to tear the threads in these, so I don't want to crank the drill right up. Okay, there we go. I can see this is going to get flipped around quite a bit, and it's just as well I put the glass plate in a safe place. So if we look from the bottom, you've got the two points there that need to be connected, and then my problem is that this is ever so slightly too big. Now maybe I can force that, we will see. Probably not is going to be the answer. And if I can get this in, then maybe I can adjust that screw a little bit. I mean, technically it should be just pushing through, but I can't really tell here. Well, it does seem to be fitting well now, but let's see. There's definitely something not quite right with this. So maybe what I do need to do is flip it back onto that and see where there's maybe been a bit of an issue. It seems to be fitting fine now. I don't know if this is, you know, letting you it's quite strange. Yeah, I can see that this is actually starting to buckle a little here. So why is it doing that? Let's see if we can loosen up these areas here. I wonder if that's to do with what I was finding out earlier with the Z not moving. That could be it. So I'm seeing this has moved a little, and it could be, and this is loosened up quite a bit, so it could be something to do with that, that the Z-axis rods are stuck. Because if that's, well, I mean, it's in there, and I could probably be doing with a hammer or something like that. I don't even think I've got a hammer. Always use the right tool for the job here. And we'll maybe that's why there's a bit more of an issue there, because I think the problem is somewhere between this side's Z-axis, because that's the one that's only got one bolt in it, and the X-axis. I can see that there's a bit of flex in the connection, and I've just loosened that up and it's popped out now. So a solution could be that that's screwed in there as well. And I think the problem being that these are connected with the grub screws that tighten them up. So if I loosen this whole section, it should hopefully loosen up. Yeah, there we go. So for those that can't see that, I've just loosened the section here. Now you can only move it a little bit because of the whole motor assembly at the back there, but it does allow me room to get in and loosen these grub screws that I had tightened earlier. So it seems that these rods are possibly quite a bit longer than what's needed, which is alright. You don't want too loose, but I'm now going to have to do some jiggery pokery to put this thread in. And I think the reason I'm doing it this way is so that I know that this frame is aligned, and there we go. So no need to force it into place. I just need to reassemble that a little bit. Right, so now that's the Z-axis firm, and that is strong there. So now we need to loosen these grub screws a little more. So I've not got that at the best view for you. In fact, I think it would be best to bring it this way. So the grub screws are in here. They've now been loosened, and I now need to, oh, there we go, a good sight more. So what I'm having to do basically is get this to a point where it fits, measuring the, and you can see this belt's really loose now. Now these things happen. This is part of the deal. And that there actually feels nice. And it's winding all the way down now. So what we'd spotted was basically, because I was checking it, it wasn't, I'd noticed that this Z-axis wasn't winding all the way down. And if we now tighten these retaining screws that have the V-slot nuts into them, we build this in here. There we go. Oh, right. So that's nice and tight now. It's free from all that. This is still sticking out a little bit, so that's fine. I don't think they're going to move. I really should actually loosen them up again and tighten the grub screws that are behind the Z axis. Extrusion that. Okay. So it's good to build your own printer if you've got time, because then you get to understand what it's doing, how these parts are moving. If we'd managed to build this and we noticed it was still jamming, we would be able to understand it, or find out that that possibly the bars that are holding it weren't parallel, and that's why it was getting tight towards the bottom. Maybe you can hear the local audience in the background. It's quite busy in here for a weekday. Earned this coffee that I've got beside me. So that's okay, that's working. This is moving from side to side. We will have to retighten that now because it's fabulously loose.